Carlos Alcaraz crashes into a wall, more like a fucking fortress, called Novak Djokovic at the Australian Open. The 21-year-old Spaniard, a prodigy with a resume most players can only dream of, still can't check Melbourne Park off his Grand Slam bucket list. It's like the cherry on top of the cake keeps rolling off every time he reaches for it. Sure, he's got 2 Wimbledon titles, 2023 and 2024, a US Open win in 2022, and even snagged the Roland Garros crown in 2024. But the elusive Australian Open? That bastard remains out of reach. In 2023, Alcaraz got bulldozed by Alexander Zverev in the quarterfinals. Fast forward to 2024, and it was none other than the king of Melbourne himself, Novak freaking Djokovic, who sent the young gun packing. And let's be real, Djokovic wasn't just memorable, he was a goddamn legend on a mission. At 37 years old, the Serbian maestro didn't just show up. He flexed his skills like a grandmaster playing chess against an overeager rookie. Djokovic, the silent assassin these past few weeks, turned up the heat exactly when it mattered. The guy doesn't just play tennis, he orchestrates it. With a surgical precision that left the crowd gawking, he dismantled Alcaraz'S momentum, showcasing a jaw-dropping performance that screamed, "Yeah, I'm still the boss around here." It was like watching a masterclass in shutting down young, hungry challengers. Their battle wasn't just tennis, it was an all-out slugfest of emotions, strategies, and tennis shots that defied physics. Every rally was a masterpiece, a clash of power, finesse, and sheer willpower. But in the end, experience trumped youthful exuberance. Djokovic, the 10-time Australian Open champ, reminded everyone why he's the GOAT. With 24 Grand Slam titles already under his belt, tying with Aussie legend Margaret Court, he's clearly not done adding to his tally. Now, here's where it gets even juicier. Djokovic didn't just beat Alcaraz, he did it after a tough 4-6, 6-4, 6-3, 6-4 battle that stretched into the ungodly hours of 3 a.m. The man might be pushing 40, but he's got the stamina of a 20-something and the mental fortitude of a Jedi. And to top it off, he did this while battling some physical issues. Because why not add a bit of drama to the mix? Meanwhile, Alcaraz, probably sitting somewhere licking his wounds, is undoubtedly seething. This kid doesn't just play to participate, he plays to dominate. And not making it past the quarters? That's gotta sting like hell. But don't count him out just yet. If there's one thing Alcaraz has proven, it's that he'll be back, hungrier and more determined than ever. Djokovic, on the other hand, marches on to his 12th semi-final down under, where he's set to face Alexander Zverev, the 27-year-old German currently ranked 2nd in the world. Zverev, fresh off a strong showing against Tommy Paul, is in killer form, but facing Djokovic at Melbourne Park? That's like trying to wrestle a grizzly bear in its den. Good luck, buddy. As for Alcaraz, he'll keep watching, analyzing, and plotting his revenge. The fiery Spaniard, known for his relentless ambition, isn't the type to settle for almost. He's gunning for that Australian Open crown, and when he gets it, you better believe the world will hear about it. Until then, Djokovic remains the goddamn king of Melbourne. These kinds of tournaments are like a brutal crash course in survival, and you can bet your ass Carlos Alcaraz will walk away from this one with some valuable lessons. The guy's no stranger to taking a few hits before coming back stronger. Meanwhile, Novak Djokovic, because of course it's Djokovic, handled the pressure like the absolute tennis psychopath he is. Even with that damn thigh wrapped up like he was auditioning for a mummy movie, he pulled off one of his signature comebacks. Djokovic dropped the first set, and everyone thought, is the old man finally cracking? But nope. This is Novak we're talking about. The dude could probably find a way to win a match while juggling flaming tennis balls. He rallied back, cranking up the intensity just when Alcaraz thought he had him on the ropes. And let's not ignore the drama. Djokovic later told the press he was this close to quitting if he'd lost the second set. But hey, give the guy a physio, a doctor, and about 5 minutes to brood, and he's back like a man possessed. Now, with Alexander Zverev in his sights, Djokovic is ready to add another shiny chapter to his already ridiculously stacked legacy. The showdown is shaping up to be an absolute slugfest, with both players likely to leave their souls on the court. Let's talk about Novak for a second. The man thrives in those "oh shit" moments. It's like the tougher the challenge, the more he turns into some tennis superhero. He's everywhere, covering every inch of the court like a human Roomba, smashing serves, and returning with the precision of a goddamn sniper. At 37 years old, this guy isn't slowing down. He's powering up like a character in a video game. On the other side, Alcaraz brought his A-game, or, well, most of it. The kid's talented as hell, but he had a few slip-ups that gave Djokovic just enough breathing room to turn the tide. Still, Alcaraz isn't the type to roll over. The dude fought like a cornered animal, clawing his way back into the match even when it looked like Novak had him in a chokehold. There was this one rally, 33 insane, gut-wrenching shots that had the crowd on the edge of their seats. When Djokovic finally missed, Alcaraz celebrated like he'd won the lottery, his energy feeding off the crowd's roar. But let's face it, Djokovic wasn't having any of that Cinderella story shit. Even when Alcaraz clawed his way to breakpoint opportunities, Novak shut the door every damn time. It was a masterclass in staying cool under fire. Alcaraz had his moments. Hell, he even had 2 chances to level things at 4-4 in the final set. But Djokovic, like the stubborn legend he is, just wouldn't let it happen. The man was a wall, a damn fortress of unrelenting excellence. By the time the match finally wrapped up at 1 a.m., everyone watching knew they'd just seen something special. These two don't just play tennis, they put on a freaking show. Every time they meet, sparks fly, and this match was no exception. In the end, Djokovic's experience and sheer bloody-mindedness carried the day. He won it 4-6, 6-4, 6-3, 6-4, delivering a performance so complete and so ruthless that even his haters had to nod in grudging respect. Alcaraz played well, really well, but let's be real. Going up against Djokovic on hard courts is like trying to outswim a shark in its own turf. Novak now heads into his 12th Australian Open semifinal like it's just another Tuesday. Meanwhile, Alcaraz, probably nursing some bruised pride, will go back to the drawing board. The kid's got time on his side, and if there's one thing he's good at, it's learning from his losses. He'll be back, hungrier and meaner, ready to take another crack at dethroning the King of Melbourne. Until then, Djokovic continues to rule the court, and honestly, it's kind of terrifying how good he still is. The second set? Holy shit, what a roller coaster. With the score locked at 5-4 and Alcaraz serving, Djokovic decided it was time to switch into beast mode. The man pulled out all the stops, returns that could cut through steel, aggressive shots that left no room for error, and an attitude like, "Yeah, kid, not today." He crushed that game without dropping a single damn point. Boom. 1 set apiece. The match was on fire, and Djokovic was just getting warmed up. By the time the third set rolled around, Djokovic had this smirk on his face, like he'd figured out the cheat code to Alcaraz's game. While Novak breezed through his service games like it was a casual warm-up, poor Alcaraz was out there sweating bullets, fighting for every damn point like his life depended on it. And even though the Spaniard managed to save himself a few times, the cracks were starting to show. His first serves weren't landing, and against the best returner in the game? That's like trying to fight a shark while bleeding. Djokovic? Oh, he was in full-on Terminator mode by now. No errors, no weaknesses, no mercy. The guy was a goddamn wall, and when he broke Alcaraz's serve yet again, you could practically feel the air leave the stadium. That one break in the final set? It was the nail in the coffin. From there, Novak kept the pressure on, never letting up, and no matter how hard Alcaraz fought, and believe me, he tried every trick in the book, it just wasn't enough. Djokovic had built a fortress, and Carlitos wasn't getting in. By the end of it, you could see the frustration on Alcaraz's face. He gave it his all, throwing everything he had at Novak, but the guy just wouldn't crack. It's like trying to knock down a brick wall with a tennis racket. Damn near impossible. And let's be honest, when Djokovic is in this kind of zone, you're not just playing against a tennis player. You're facing a freaking legend who's been dominating the sport for over a decade. And if you're digging this breakdown, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and smash the like. Because here at Tennis Extra, we don't just give you the news, we give you the juicy details, the behind-the-scenes drama, and the kind of analysis that makes you feel like you're right there on the court. Exclusive interviews? Hell yes. Deep dives into player strategies? You bet your ass. We've got you covered on everything happening in the tennis world. So, join our community and get in on the action. Whether it's Grand Slam glory, player rivalries, or just the sheer thrill of the game, we're here to bring you the best damn tennis content around. Stick with us, and you'll never miss a beat.